Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're focusing in and zooming in on this portion of the series on really lack of empathy, complex PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, or complex PTSD, where you feel a sense of really sort of inertia, apathy, a sense of fear, kind of a whole mix of very negative emotions, and they can be quite crippling. And to understand the connection between this and perhaps a narcissist, malignant narcissist, or psychopath in your life. And before we kind of dive into this, I want to give a huge shout out once again to my viewers in the UK. Those of you who have recently made a donation, it is so energizing to me to know that we've been able to reach you and been a good resource. And absolutely, to my viewers, if I have been a resource to you or given you inspiration or helped you to make changes in your life, please do feel free to donate to the channel on the homepage. Most certainly, if it makes you feel good, if I've made, an impression or an impact, please do feel free to make a donation. It really does help to keep the channel alive, and it keeps me energized, inspired to know that we're doing something on track here for you. So, furthermore, I really want to dive in and really look at the experience of apathy or complex PTSD, that sort of real crippling depression that can result as being perhaps even raised or surrounded by malignant narcissist, covert narcissist, or psychopathic individuals who present with a lack of empathy and, have created even more so, not even a negation of nurturing and love in your life. So it's not even the lack of this. There's a furthermore deficit in lack of empathy. So it causes a negative validation or really even a crippling effect in your life. So not only did you not have the nurturing, the care, the support, the understanding, the validation of those kind of very intangible experiences, meaning, beyond touch. So you might have had, a plate of food, you might have had a roof over your head, a bed to sleep in, etc., but there's something kind of missing from the equation. And oftentimes it is that lack of empathy which has set up a lack of emotional security, the emotional needs not met, meaning that the inherent human needs to be acknowledged, validated, meaning understood, having the connection, the within a common denominator between the caregiver or the spouse, where if that is not there, if that connection is not there, if there's a lack of empathy, and then that means basically the relationship is like this, like the person is growing here and the other person is growing there. So you feel this gulf and divide, and this creates oftentimes, this person is growing this way, the narcissist, and then you tend to grow down. We see this pattern quite a bit in those people who are either codependent or have identified with a role of being kind of a supply, or a role that is an attachment bond, or living in reaction to this lack of empathy. So there's this, not only is there a lack of not having, but there's an additional double whammy, if you will, of having negative validation, of being shamed, of being criticized, of being belittled, of not being given the emotional validation that you need. So this can create this apathy, this lack of feeling, this lack of desire, this lack of enthusiasm, or disconnection really from passion in life. It's not so much a deficit, it's a disconnection therefrom. So in understanding this to be the case, it is very important to understand that then that was the seed, and it's now important to understand and then remove that, identify the cause, and then separate yourself from the feelings which have put that experience in your life. A lot of people say, I've been this way for 20, 30 years, and I'm now finally waking up. Well, congratulations. It is wonderful to be at that aha moment and to be on the brink of understanding that feeling of apathy, or being without that validation, that feeling, because you can intellectualize, but intellectual will only go so far. You cannot live in the head. In other words, living in the intellectual aspect of I am this, I can become this, I can do this, intellectually, but not from the heart center. So it's really important to connect with that and realize that the heart center is where you're going to find your feeling once again. And if it's you know, so much of that spectrum is, you know, I feel sad, I feel disgusting, I feel depressed, I feel ashamed. Okay, let's remove those. Let's remove those statements from your vocabulary, because chances are you have been re-solidifying that and validating that back into your subconscious. You're taking that deficit from this narcissist or psychopath, and then you're putting it negatively, you're reaffirming it. Basically, you're keeping it in place. You're cycling it emotionally, you're cycling it physically, you're cycling it psychologically, and then spiritually, you're muffling and you're using fragmented thoughts to kind of get at your passion, at your I wants, your I ams, you know. So realize the fragmented or perhaps disconnect, and let's put the pieces together. Let's reconnect, and let's get a new congruence between your body, mind, and spirit. And this can be done. And if first if this seems, you know, out there, I can't do this, allow yourself, I have an itch, allow yourself to have those moments like, okay, I'm feeling this, I understand the connection here. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. There we go. Okay, so allow yourself to have that, you know, acknowledge the disconnect. But furthermore, begin to say, you know, my heart lives. Yes, but my heart lives. Yes, but my heart lives. You know, I'm now living from my heart. My heart is the most powerful energy center in a human being. Basically, the heart is pumping, you know, like has 200,000 miles of veins and arteries in your body, and your heart has so much energy around it. Systems like in the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, they've been able to feel, you know, you can feel the energy, you can feel the positive energy that comes from somebody's heart. It's not coming from their mind, it's coming from their heart. So, and that will oftentimes push out, you know, around somebody's body. Your heart is electric. Your neurons then can respond to your heart. So you want to then reconnect your mind with your heart and become more heart-centered and kind of waken that up and acknowledge that the heart lives, and the heart has truth, and the heart has power, and the heart has ability to move. So once you tap into that, you really need to have that state of allowing, and then begin to take action before you feel like you're ready. Because a lot of people say, well, I'm not ready, and then you get this complex PTSD. You have these people who have solidified, you know, I'm not ready for so long, and so you need to remove that message and replace it with the I am, and the I am vibration, and the I am abundance, and the I am wellness, and I am health, and I am inspiration, and I am joy, and I am bliss, and I am enthusiasm, and I am passion. And begin to call that feeling, because you need to have that feeling really called in, you know, before it occurs. And these are the things that the psychopath does not have, the narcissist does not have. They might have a shell of feeling, but they don't possess the feeling. They don't go there. They don't, especially in the psychopath, they don't have the ability to feel. They really are more, you know, in the manipulation. They're in a different sort of brain experience, if you will, a neurochemical experience. So you need to get into that feeling space. So even if your goal for today, or whenever it is you're watching this video again and again, your goal might be to just begin to feel. You might need to begin to feel safe. You might need to begin to feel secure. You might need to begin to feel the I am. And you might need to begin to feel present. You know, you might need to feel, you know, separate from the past. These are your instructions. These are your go-to things that you need to really begin to feel, and then feel abundance, and feel your talent, and feel your joy, and feel your freedom, and feel your sense of security, and your sense of integrity, and your sense of vulnerability, or positive vulnerability, versus feeling the shame, because the shame was basically put in there through a deficit. So get that really out of your system. It might take some time, you know, but I think you'll find that if you can call this and evoke this into your aura, into your emotional body, and begin to allow yourself to feel in the comfort of your home, in the comfort of really this focused YouTube video here, and allow yourself to feel this without it being impaired or destroyed by someone who is narcissistic, psychopathic, or who is not your best interest in mind. Begin to really establish this. I call it almost like emotional real estate. It's a place within yourself which is very valuable, very important. It has a great view on life, and it has really the best perspective, and it can create from that space in your life moving forward, whether it's your grocery list, whether it's your to-do list, your to-do-be list, your travel list, your career path. Begin to evoke that from the space, and then your body and mind will begin to work in coherence and conjunction, which is really a more empowered and secure state of being, oftentimes which you need to evoke to get yourself out of this apathy or post-traumatic stress syndrome, which you can heal and move through. You do have the ability, you do have the tools, you do have the planning, you do have this within. It is peace and harmony with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.